I can drink some water.
Sure.
This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Deshay Renee Motley.
Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast Live. Are you in need of a roofing contractor? One might be closer than you think. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing your good neighbor, Steven, with Omega Roofing. Steven, how's it going?
Good, good. I'm doing very well, actually. I'm happy. I'm joyful. I feel charismatic. I feel positive about what's been going on lately with the business and just life overall.
Wonderful. Well, we're excited to learn all about you and your business. So tell us about your company.
Well, Omega Roofing, the company's called Omega Roofing Company. Officially, that's how it's named. And the company's been around since October 15th of 2015. I opened up the company in October 15th, 2015. And we are a roofing contracting company. We provide roofing services for not only homeowners throughout Houston and all the surrounding areas, but we also provide commercial roofing, flat roofs. We also do metal roofs, clay tile repairs. But we mostly do residential roofing and flat roof commercial buildings, and that's what we do. And we also do gutters, 5 inch, 6 inch seamless gutters. We do fascia and soffit repairs, which is the protection around the perimeter of the house. We do fencing, we do siding, and pressure washing and exterior painting. I don't really mess around too much with the interior of the inside. That's not me. We mostly like to do the work that involves the homes that involve the things on the outside. So roofing, fencing. But most of our work is, I would say, most of our work comes from roofing.
Very impressive. So, how did you get into this business?
Ha, that now that's a funny question. It's a very interesting question because so I was always into sales. Okay, um, I went to high school, and my high school graduation year was like 1999, 2000, around there. And just from there, I just went straight to work. I didn't go to college, and I'm kind of diving into the part how I got into sales first. Then I'll tell you about roofing. But I actually got into sales by accident. A friend of mine invited me to the mall one day, and there was a booth that used to sell cell phones, and it was T-Mobile. And my first sales job was a T-Mobile job, selling cell phones at a mall. And turns out that my first month there, I did pretty good. I never knew I was a salesman. Never knew I had skills. I guess I was just born with it. Turns out my grandfather from Colombia, he was a salesman back in his day. So I guess I had it naturally. But I was in cell phones was my career for about the first 20 years. From all the way from like 2004 until 2015 actually. And in 2015, I started seeing these ads when I was looking for work, and I would see these ads that say roofing sales, but I always passed it. I never thought anything of it. I'm like, roofing sales, I've always been into sales, but until finally one day, my mom's ex-boyfriend from Miami, Florida, he moved here. He was a roofer, and when he moved here, he started working for a roofing company selling roofs. And my mom literally called me every day. Steve, you got to go with him. Steve, you're going to do great. I'm like, leave me alone. I don't care about it. I don't care about roofing. And every day she just kept pounding me and pounding me over the phone, calling me every day. Until one day I just got so upset. I said, all right, Ma, I'm going to go and check this out only because I need you to stop bothering me about this. I promise you I'll go. And so I went with him one day, and I actually liked what he did. He went into customer's house. He gave a customer an estimate. He did a free inspection on their roof, and it was just like, wow, I can do this. And that's how I got into roofing. That's how I got into learning about roofs, learning how to sell roofs. But the very interesting thing for me in the beginning was I actually started doing the work myself. I actually went up on the roof with my I guess you could say my ex stepdad. I actually went on the roof, and I actually got my hands dirty. I learned how to install shingles, and that way I was able to articulate it through my sales.
I really appreciate you sharing that. So, what would you say are some of the myths or misconceptions in your industry?
The myths and misconceptions. Not every roofer is a bad guy. I know that there's a lot of guys out there that they strive to go look for more work. Unfortunately, roofing is an up and down thing. You know what I'm saying? You have to really have some guts to stick with it because roofing doesn't start off easy. You really have to start a foundation and work your way up. But man, not every roofer out there is really bad. I noticed that some homeowners they're very speculative. And I would be too. You know, but there's some good roofers out there. There's some good honest roofers. I just had a customer today that she told me that another roofer came by and said that her roof was destroyed and needed to be replaced. And when I got there, I told her, I'm like, really? This is a brand new roof. All you need is some repairs. And by doing that, she's probably going to save herself about $20,000. Why? Because it's just better to be honest than just to try to chase money out of dishonesty. And that's just my honest opinion about that. So, not all of us guys, not all of us roofers are bad. And what was it? The myths and what?
Myths and misconceptions.
Yeah, misconceptions. We're just a lot of us roofers, man. We're just regular family guys. We all have wives. I got my wife, got my sons, and it's just we just try to take care of our families. That's all.
Absolutely. I love that perspective. We know marketing is the heart of every business. So, who are your target customers and how do you attract them?
I've been in business since 2015, so I've been able to, I've been able to build up a good clientele. I do get a lot of calls from past customers. They give me their family numbers, and so I get a lot of repeat calls and word of mouth. That's the word I was thinking about, word of mouth. So I do get a lot of business from that. It's funny because in times that are slow, I'll get a call all of a sudden, be like, "Hey, you did my cousin's roof, and I need a roof." And so I'm really glad about that. I'm really glad that I was able to help many customers out. That keeps me busy still. Also, I do a lot of Facebook ads, a lot of social media ads. I spend quite a bit of my budget. I allocate a lot of my budget towards marketing, especially to the Facebook platform. I do get a lot of leads from Facebook. I also use they used to be called Home Advisor. Now they're called Angie's Leads. I don't use them too much because unfortunately the quality of their leads have really gone down. Very sad because it helped me in the beginning. Home Advisor helped me a lot, but now it's like the 10 leads that you'll get, 7 of them don't even answer the phone. So it just kind of got to a point where it's just I don't really use them too much. But I do have about 80 reviews on that platform, so customers do get to review my company through reviews through that platform. So that's how I get my business. And of course, there's another way too. Mail outs. I'll see a customer's house. Oh, and of course, door knocking. Door knocking doesn't stop. That definitely is something. When I'm driving in a neighborhood and I see a neighborhood and I see that roof is bad, I'm gonna go knock on the door. That's and I get plenty of business door knocking too. So that's pretty much where I get my business from.
Absolutely. On a similar note, have you ever thought about doing your own podcast?
Yes, I have. Um, I have. I could because what I've noticed that's the world that we're living in. That's what we're gravitating towards. Everybody just being, I guess, exposing themselves and their great talents to the world now using, the digital age that we're living in now. So I think that's pretty interesting. So I have thought about using podcasts, and I've noticed that a lot of people like me that have been in business a long time, that I have a lot of experiences. I have a lot of ups and downs. I have a lot of sad stories, very successful stories, and I think I have enough knowledge to help people out. People that are starting off, like my son. My son, I have a 29-year-old, a 20-year-old, and I have another one. He's fixing to move from California to here, and they're starting off, and I'm teaching them the ropes right now. I got my brother who works with me, my brother Raymond. I taught him the business. I taught him how to measure roofs, and now he's putting on roofs right now too. He works for the company.
Lovely. It sounds like you've learned a lot through your experiences. So, outside of work, what do you do for fun?
Well, we are a very religious family. So outside of work, pretty much my life is a faith-based lifestyle, and our lives really revolve around our church, the church that we attend. We're very close to the ministry, and my pastor that's been my pastor for about 13 years now, and he's been my wife's pastor now for almost 20 years now. So we're a very faith-based family. So our lifestyle really revolves around our faith. I'm a Christian, and so our lifestyle really, man, is we hang out with the church. Like right now, my kid is about to go to my pastor's house and go to his pool. They're gonna have a little cookout there. We have a lot of events. November, we have an event where the whole church is going to go out into the, oh my gosh, it's slipping my mind right now, like a camp. Like a camp. There's a lake there, and the whole church just gets together. And I like to read. I really like to read. I don't spend too much time reading novels. I like to read. I just like to read a lot of religious literature. Just kind of keep my mind focused on that. And of course, I keep up with my roofing industry. I watch a lot of podcasts of roofing. I follow a lot of on Facebook. There's a lot of pages that have discussions about roofing. And so, yeah, I mean, I like to keep up with the business. I like to know what's going on in the world, what's going on in this country as far as our industry that 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 affects us as roofing contractors. So, that's really, and of course, I like to hang out with my kid. I like to play Nintendo Switch, with my 11-year-old. His name is Tony, and we play the old games, the old Super Nintendo games. And the other day we were playing Donkey Kong. So yeah, and I like to ride the scooter. The other day I was with my son riding the scooters in downtown, just me and him, just kind of scrolling downtown. That was pretty fun. I thought that was pretty cool.
Those are very wonderful things. So, Stephen, please tell our listeners one thing they should remember about Omega Roofing.
That we are very honest, and that we work with a lot of integrity, and we work very hard to try to keep the customers satisfied 100%. Our goal is to put on a roof where the customer is completely happy, satisfied, and if something comes up that might be a negative, that I am here to fix the problem. I'm not going to run away from it. I'm not going to be the one to not answer my phone. Um, uh, we're very, very honest. Okay. We do not play around with fishy things that happen in the industry. Unfortunately, there's a lot of bad apples in our industry, just like any industry. Okay, you go to the car dealership selling cars, they're bad apples. You go to the stock market, there's bad apples. Politics, there's bad apples. Okay, the roofing industry is the same thing. You know, I just want customers to know that whenever they call Omega Roofing, they're gonna get the real deal. They're gonna get real responses. They're gonna get very efficient communication, very honest communication, and we're going to tell you how it is. You know, in our industry, man, there's a lot of guys that lie. They'll go up on a roof and tell a customer, you know, hey, you got this and that, and there's nothing wrong with the roof, just to make a dollar. And we here in Omega Roofing, my sons, my brother, everybody that works for the company knows that when it comes to stuff like that, we don't play around. We don't lie to customers. You know, I think honesty really is the number one thing for us. You know, just be real with the customer. Don't be fake with the customer. You know, we're not gonna be fake with you. We're not gonna try to walk into your house and in our minds we just have dollar signs. You know what I'm saying? I really try to be. I really just try to be. I really, in my mind, genuinely. I know that I could talk, but if they met us, meet my sons, meet my brother, meet me, you'll know that what's coming to your house is going to be just a down to earth person. You know, money is not number one for us. We know money decays, money comes and money goes. Money is. I do roofing and I'm a roofing contractor because I have to pay the bills. If I can, I would be just traveling the world and meeting people and, you know, just doing the best I can to be the best human in the world, you know, and just pass that positive energy with everyone. You know, love, man, love is the way to go. You know, and we try to portray that in every time I contact the customer, man. You know, hey, listen, man, Stephen Amador, I'm here to help you. You know, it's not all about money with us. So
Yes, that's definitely a valuable takeaway there. So, how can our listeners learn more about Omega Roofing?
well, so I have been getting into TikTok lately. I've been doing that whole TikTok video, so I've been trying to post videos on TikTok a lot. Eventually, I think I'm going to start spending some money towards TikTok to generate leads so I can get some more business. But I've been doing a lot more TikTok videos, so you could find us Omega Roofing. Uh, uh, I got enough content there now where you can just scroll, and I tried to keep up with my TikTok account, and I just do kind of regular stuff, you know, like I'm on a roof and I'm measuring the roof, and I'm actually showing my content is showing them how to measure a roof or what to look for when you look for damages on a roof and stuff like that. So TikTok, Facebook is another one. Facebook, I think that's probably how you found me, but Facebook, you're gonna find me a lot because I do pay for the ads, so they're constantly running ads through the Facebook platform. So a lot of customers have right now they're finding me through Facebook. Um, and also door hangers. You know, you're gonna find us every once in a while. If your roof is bad, anybody who hears this, if your roof is bad in Houston, okay, and I'm passed by your neighborhood, most likely you're gonna find a door hanger. Give us a call. We'll give you a good roof.
Well, Stephen, I really appreciate you being on the show. We wish you and your business the best moving forward.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate it. And good luck.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnphouston.com. That's gnphouston.com. Or call 346 643 4871.